Hi everyone, welcome to day 2 of our article about English puns. I'm Kat.
I'm Mike.
And
yes, we are going to be making more puns today, right?
Yay, we are!
Learning about puns, but yesterday we introduced you guys to the basic idea of puns.
That's right, good and bad. So we introduced some kind of bad ones, some breakfast-related ones, some egg-related ones.
True.
And we learned that puns can be used in writing or speech.
Yep, they absolutely can. They can be used in almost any way. It's actually a pretty good form of humor or comedy to use in writing or in a speech, like you said, because it kind of doesn't really sound like you're only making a joke. You can say something actually fairly serious, but have a pun in there and people would laugh a little bit.
Exactly.
So it's light comedy. And that's why it's not just comedy you might see in a funny movie or when someone is standing there telling jokes to an audience. You can actually use it in lots of different ways.
Yeah, I think me and my friends, like some of us will use puns on the daily, or like I'll say something and then my friend will make a pun out of it or make fun of it somehow.
Exactly. You like to be a little quick with your idea, quick with your comedy, but be warned, some people, even if they like your pun, they might react as if you've almost hurt them. You say the joke, you make the pun, and they go, oh, they make a sound like you just stepped on their toe or like they ate some bad food or something like that, because puns kind of have a little bit of a naughty, a silly sort of reputation around them. There's actually an old expression, I think, going back at least...
Puns are the lowest form of humor.
Well, something like that. It was something like someone who would make a pun would also pick your pocket. They would also steal money from your pocket, kind of saying that, you know, not the most honest people
seems a
use
little bit...
puns. I think it's more about like you're tricky. You have a tricky mind. You can see the tricky way to make a joke with these words, and that same tricky kind of person might try to cheat you out of a little bit of your money.
I guess so. I'm not going to distrust people because they make puns, though. But anyway, we are going to learn a little bit more about puns, and I think the puns in today's day are a little bit better.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes.
We're raising our level of puns.
Hopefully.
I'm excited to see that.
Yes. So why don't we get into it and learn a little bit more?
Sounds good.
Reading.
Have fun with a pun, the creative way to improve your English. We're going to look at 3 main types of puns. Master these to gain the power to make your friends either laugh or cry with your word magic. Homophonic or homophonic puns. Homophonic puns use word pairs that sound the same but have different meanings. For example, Mel cried because he didn't know about homophones. So I patted his back and said, "There, there." This is homophonic because there is also something we say to comfort someone. Homographic or homographic pun. Homographic puns contain word pairs that are spelled the same but have 2 meanings, like time flies like an arrow, fruit flies like a banana. Flies both means time passes quickly and the small annoying creatures with wings. Compound pun. Compound puns are hard because they combine more than one pun. Look at this one. Never be dishonest in the jungle. Cheetahs are always spotted. Cheetah is the large cat, but it also sounds like cheater. Spotted describes the marks on the cheetah, but it also means to see or catch something. Now that you've learned these 3 pun types, have fun making some of your own.
Okay, so as we explained today, we're going to look at puns and the styles, I guess, or types of puns that people can make. If you look at puns in a sort of scientific kind of way, you can actually find that there are several different styles or types of puns. I didn't know this, actually. I just thought if it's funny, it's good. If it's not, it's not.
Humor has a science.
Humor has a science.
Humor is an art.
That's the one thing we know about comedy. The more you explain it, the funnier it isn't. But anyways, it's interesting to know. We're going to look, as the article says, we're going to look at 3 main types of puns.
So we'll learn about those a little bit later, but first we need to tell you, master these to gain the power to make your friends either laugh or cry with your word magic.
Or
maybe
groan.
both.
Or groan.
Maybe laugh till they cry.
Yeah, they might also groan. But yes, if you can master how to make a pun, I would say you are very close to mastering the whole language.
Yeah, exactly. And so what does it mean to master something? We know that like a master is somebody who is the head of something, like a boss or maybe a dog's master.
Kung Fu master taught me many things.
That's right. And we also have master as a verb. So it kind of has the same meaning. To master something means to become an expert at it. So like you said, Kung Fu, if you master Kung Fu, then you are like, you can't get any better.
You could beat up Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I mean, Bruce Lee mastered Kung Fu.
He did.
Yeah, there's certain things I think you can't master. Like, I think you can't actually master like a sport or music.
Oh, okay.
You can always get better at those. But I think you can get to be a master level, but I don't think you can be like 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, anyway, so an example of that, many hours of practice allowed Bruce to master the first level of karate and move up to the next one.
Okay, so basically we're just saying becoming very, very good at some kind of skill or doing something. If you master it, you could definitely teach it to other people because you're an expert for sure. All right, so let's look at the first style or type of pun. It says homophonic pun. Homophonic puns use word pairs that sound the same but have different meanings. Yesterday I made that silly pun about going to the herb shop, but I ran out of time because time, T-I-M-E, is of course time on the clock. When you run out of time, you have no more time. You're late or something like that. But there's also an herb, thyme, T-H-Y-M-E.
That's right. So we have more examples of this.
Okay.
For example, Mel cried because he didn't know about homophones, which are 2 things that sound the same. So I patted his back and said, there.
There. Oh, interesting.
T-H-E-Y''R-E and T-H-E-I-R.
They are there.
That's right.
Oh, okay. But actually, when you pat someone on the shoulder when they're feeling bad, we would write that as T-H-E-R-E.
Twice.
There.
Yes.
Exactly. So that one's actually tricky because you actually have to sort of read it to get the joke.
That's right. So it's a homophone. T-H-E-Y''R-E, T-H-E-I-R, and T-H-E-R-E are homophones.
Right.
They are pronounced the same, but they are spelled different. Yeah, so exactly. So, and we talked about patting someone on the shoulder. So let's learn what pat means. So you all know that we have a teacher named Pat, but that is not this word. This word pat is a verb, and it means kind of a way of touching somebody. When you do this is kind of stroking, that when you are making your arm go down and along your skin. But when you just kind of go up and down, that's patting. So you can do it with your fingers, you can do it with your whole hand. As long as it's soft and up and down, that's a pat. You could do one pat, you could do a few pats, you could do many pats if you want to pat somebody on the back to say congratulations or to make them feel better when they're feeling sad, maybe to show them you love them. That's a reason to pat somebody or to pat your pet. So for an example sentence, Ashley doesn't like it when people pat her on the head because she feels they're treating her like a little kid.
Wow, I thought that explanation of the word pat was great. You really got that explanation down pat.
Ha ha ha.
Down pat, like it's complete, it's done, it's good quality. Okay, anyways, back to the article. This is homophonic. Remember the one about if you don't understand puns, well, I'll say there.
There.
This is homophonic. We're using, remember, homophones. These are words that sound the same even though they're spelled differently. This is homophonic because there, spelt that way, is also something we say to comfort someone. Yeah, this is something you would say in a serious situation, like, oh, my
dog died.
My dog died. Oh, there. He had a good long life with you, and He's up in doggy heaven chasing bones.
Oh, okay.
They're there. So I would say it like that. They're like there, not the other theirs. Anyways, when you comfort someone, you would say they're there. And yes, to comfort is basically to make someone feel better in their emotions, in their feelings when they're upset. They could be sad, they could be angry, they could be frustrated, and you're trying to calm them down. You're trying to improve their mood, put a smile on their face, stop them from crying. You can hug them, you can get them a cup of tea, you can say, sit down and tell me all about it. Anything that you do to try to make a person's mood or emotions go from bad to better is you are comforting them in some way. For example, Mel's cat is scared to go to the vet. So Mel always makes sure to comfort her. She'd be patting her, stroking her, maybe talking calmly and softly to the cat to comfort the cat, in this case, to make it not feel so scared.
Yeah, my cats get scared to go to the vet too.
I don't think none of them really like it, do they? No.
There's not very many animals that like the vet because they have to get shots. They have to get poked and, prodded and stuff like that.
It's no fun.
Yeah. Anyway, so next we have our second type of pun. We had homophonic puns.
Right.
Now we have homographic puns.
Homographic puns. Okay.
So we know graphic means like the way something looks.
Okay, or writing too, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Homographic puns contain word pairs that are spelled the same, but have two meanings.
Oh, I see.
So we have some of these too, like time flies like an arrow.
Time flies like an arrow. An arrow shoots and goes in a straight line. Time goes in a straight line. Okay.
And the second part, fruit flies like a banana.
Fruit flies like a banana. I'm thinking about throwing a banana? What are you talking about? Bananas don't fly. Oh, fruit flies like a banana. Fruit flies, the little bugs, they like or enjoy a banana.
That's right. So we actually have two homographics in here, flies and like.
I see. Very good.
So first fly is a verb, second fly is a noun.
Right.
The first like is such as, and the second like is enjoy.
Time flies like an arrow. That makes sense. Fruit flies like a banana. I'm just saying these insects enjoy eating bananas. As the article explains more,
I like this pun actually.
Flies, this word, both means time passes quickly, like time flies, time goes quickly when you're having fun, for example, and also flies, F-L-Y or F-L-I-E-S for two or more, little bugs, the little bugs that fly around, especially around your garbage can when it's stinky or something. Those would be fruit flies. Oh, that's terrible. Anyways, we also had this sort of maybe a new word for you, annoying. If something is annoying, it kind of bothers you, it irritates you, it takes your attention off what you're trying to do. If you're trying to study and there's loud noises outside, that might be annoying. If you're trying to take a nap and the sun is like shining right in your eyes, that's annoying. Or if your little brother or sister's running around bothering you when you're trying to concentrate on, stop being so annoying and leave me alone. Yeah, flies can be annoying.
They are, yeah.
In the summertime, for sure. They're definitely an annoying creature. So yes, with this homographic pun, time flies like an arrow or fruit flies like a banana. Of course, flies both means that time passes quickly. That's one meaning. And the small, annoying creatures with wings. Sure, they're annoying, these little creatures that are buzzing around us, buzzing around our food or our garbage can. No one likes these creatures. Creatures in general, though, is basically an animal, maybe a slightly strange animal. You probably wouldn't call your cute little dog or cat or something like that a creature, right? Because you know it's a dog or a cat. But if you're out in the forest and you hear a strange noise at night, you don't know what that could be. It could be a little cute squirrel or it could be a big scary bear, but you're kind of saying, ooh, I hear a creature out there. It's some kind of animal, maybe a little mysterious, maybe a little scary too. Once you know what it is, you might call it by its real name, a bear or a squirrel. But if you don't, and you're a little scared or a little worried, creature might be a good word for this thing out there. For example, Brady doesn't like to go in the ocean because he can't stop thinking about all of the creatures that are swimming below him. Ooh, they could be cute creatures like Nemo or a dolphin. It could also be an octopus or a shark or something scary like that. So he doesn't like to think about all those creatures underneath him in the water, creatures that he can't see.
All right, so far we've had homophonic puns, which are the same in sound, and then homographic puns, which are the same in writing.
Okay, that kind of makes sense.
But now we have a third kind.
Ooh.
Compound puns. Compound puns.
Compound puns.
Yeah.
That's kind of when you a compound is when you put two different things together, like chemicals or something.
That's right. And so we can probably see both homophonic and homographic puns in here.
I see. Okay, so this is the combo pun.
This is the combo breaker. Combo breaker.
Okay.
All right. So compound puns are hard because they combine more than one pun, just
as
like
you said. Yeah, put a homographic pun and a homophonic pun together in a sentence. Wow, you are a pun master.
Yeah.
You have mastered puns. Definitely if you can do that. Look at this one. Here's an example. Never be dishonest in the jungle. All right, so never tell a lie. Always tell the truth. Always be honest in the jungle. Never be dishonest in the jungle. Why? Cheetahs are always spotted. Cheetahs are always spotted. If you're a cheetah, you're a big cat with spots, right? Cheetahs are always spotted. But if you listen to the sound of the word cheetah, it kind of sounds like cheater. And if you're a cheater, you might get spotted to see something happening.
I think this is where explaining it makes it less funny.
Yes, definitely. All right.
But we still need to learn about a few of these words.
We still do. Hopefully it will become funnier if we explain it even more.
Yeah, sometimes it makes it all the way around unfunny and then goes back to funny.
Yeah, that's very rare.
Well, we'll see.
Okay. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, dishonest means not honest. Often when we have words with the dis in front, that means the opposite. So it's the opposite of honest, not honest. In other words, not truthful. You lie. You don't tell the truth if you're dishonest. Most of our parents, of course, tell us to always be honest. Don't be dishonest. In other words, always tell the truth. Don't tell lies. Because if you do, bad things might happen to you. For example, the dishonest businessman was finally sent to prison for 10 years. He'd been lying about his business for a long time, and of course, that ended up getting him in trouble. Oh well.
All right, so we have one more word here that we need to, well, a few more, but the first one is jungle. In the jungle, you should never be dishonest. So, you know, it's a little strange because those two words are not related, but a jungle is a tropical forest. Like you might see, not in the mountains, like, you know, you go and you see all the tall pine trees and that kind of thing. A jungle is a forest where like it rains a lot. The trees are very, very tall and there's usually lots and lots and lots of animals.
Right, lots of insects.
Yeah,
especially.
a lot of insects, like mosquitoes,
rain,
a lot of birds.
very hot and humid.
A lot of flowers usually.
Right, I often think of the Amazon,
monkeys.
Right, around the Amazon River in the middle of Brazil there. That dense, thick, wet forest, that would definitely be a jungle.
Yeah, or in Southeast Asia, like Thailand or Malaysia.
Borneo, places like that,
So, an example for this, we saw beautiful birds and many monkeys in the jungle's tall trees. What's another animal you could see in the jungle?
Not the cheetah. The cheetah actually is a big cat, of course. A lot of us know that the cheetah is the fastest land animal. They live in Africa, but not in the jungle forest parts. Cheetahs run fast, so they live on the flat grasslands, mainly in Eastern or Southern Africa. They're very famous. They run really, really fast. They have spots. That's right. They have little black spots. Leopards, which people sometimes get confused, have sort of circles, kind of donuts.
And they're bigger.
And they're bigger and they're more muscular.
Cheetahs are skinny and long.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They are the Usain Bolt of the animal world.
I guess
They're tall, thin, and run really fast.
Maybe you could say Usain Bolt is the cheetah of the human world.
That could be too. Well, the retired cheetah. He doesn't run anymore.
That's right.
All right.
So yeah, actually I think the person who made this joke got cheetahs and leopards confused.
Oh,
But you can't make a pun with leopards.
It doesn't sound like cheater, right?
Yeah.
That's the joke.
So yeah, we can forgive it because of the joke. So this pun works because, as the article says, cheetah is the large cat, but it also sounds like cheater. Spotted describes the marks on the cheetah, but it also means to see or catch something. So as we say, cheetah sounds like cheater. The only difference is that R at the end and the spelling a little bit. So what is a cheater? Well, we know what a dishonest person is. So a cheater is a person who is dishonest. They lie or they get something in a dishonest way. Usually you hear this like things like cheating on a test, or maybe cheating on your partner, which would be, going out with somebody else and not telling them. Or a cheater could be somebody who lies to get a job. That would be a person who cheats or a cheater.
That's right. And if you are cheating in class, if you are a cheater, the person who's not telling the truth, and maybe your teacher will see you whispering to your friend or reading or writing notes when you should be doing your test or something like that. So if the teacher sees you or catches you doing something bad, you've been spotted. Now here we don't mean something with spots, like a shirt with spots or something. You could say it's spotted. Here we're using spot to say see, basically. If I see something, if my eyes lock on it and I know what it is, I spot something. If you're walking down the street looking for a 7-Eleven and there's many stores and finally you see the right sign, it's got the right colors. Oh, I spot it. I see it. I've picked it out from all of these other things. So if cheaters are spotted, that means someone will see you or catch you cheating. But of course, if we're talking about something being spotted, that means it has spots or little dots all over it, different colored circles.
So I think spotted is a homographic pun.
Right.
But cheetah and cheater, you could say they're kind of homophonic.
Right.
They are not spelled the same, but they sound almost the same.
So having them both there turns this into a compound pun.
All right.
2 puns for the price of 1.
Very good. All right, so the article says, now that you've learned these 3 pun types, have fun making some of your own. So if you know English words that sound the same, or they're spelled the same but mean different things, you can use those to make puns. Now, a pun can be a long joke or a very short one. Like we just saw, you have 2 sentences. You could also tell an entire story to lead up to 1 pun.
Definitely.
If it's a really good pun, people will like it.
All right, guys, that's all for today for the article, but we do have a chat question, so come back and join us for that in just a second.
For You Chat.
All right, so I don't know, from yesterday and today, I think most of us, the students, and we've been reading, there must have been good 8 or 9 puns.
A lot,
that we read over the last couple of days, plus including the ones we also thought of ourselves, maybe not quite as good. But out of the puns used in this article and today, especially when we talked about the 3 types of pun, which do you like the most and why?
I have to say I like the time flies, fruit flies one.
That's a good one, yeah.
Because to me, that's very clever because you're using the same word as 2 different parts of speech.
Right.
And you're surprising people by changing the meaning.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that humor that kind of does a twist and surprises people is clever.
Absolutely. And it's also one of those jokes where you might actually take a few seconds to really get it, right?
Yeah.
Time flies like an arrow.
Because
fruit flies like a banana. You're thinking about throwing a piece of fruit.
Throwing a
but
banana?
Oh, fruit
God,
flies.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like jokes that take a moment for you to, kind of, yeah, those are really clever.
That's a pretty good one. So how about you guys? Was that your favorite one? Or maybe you like the one about the jungle and the cheetah? Have a chat about that. And hey, if you can, try to think of your own puns. It's actually a really good way to, train your brain to look at things in a slightly unique or creative way.
Yeah.
And hey, it will also really be good for your English skills.
That's
but whatever
true.
you do, keep laughing, keep making jokes, whatever you think is funny. We hope you enjoy it. And please do come back to join us for more great articles soon. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
And bye-bye.
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 Yeah.
Vocabulary Review.
Master. After spending many years practicing, Sarah has finally mastered playing the guitar. Pat. After he failed the exam, Tim's mom patted his shoulder and told him he'd do better next time. Comfort. Lisa comforted her best friend after learning that her pet rabbit had died. Creature. Some creatures eat other animals, some only eat plants, and others, such as humans, eat both. Dishonest. Tina's dad got angry when she lied and told her to never be dishonest again. Jungle. Perhaps the most famous jungle in the world is the Amazon, which is in South America.
智慧小补帖
Homophone. Homophone. Annoying. Cheetah.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net